In 1955, an American Fulbright scholar named E. L. Lundelius arrived in Western Australia to study Pleistocene mammals. He was not an archaeologist, that he was a paleontologist whose primary interest was the bones of ancient animals, and the cave he was investigating had already produced a remarkable collection of them. While sorting through a batch of kangaroo bones recovered from the cave floor, he came across something that clearly did not belong there, a human tooth. Resting among the remains of animals that people had hunted and eaten, inside a limestone cave in the Jarrah forest of southwestern Australia, was the tooth of a person who had lived there thousands of years earlier, long before anyone thought to search for evidence of human occupation. That single tooth sparked the archaeological investigation that followed. And what archaeologists eventually uncovered inside Devil's Lair completely reshaped the accepted timeline of human occupation on the Australian continent. That he discoveries confirmed some of the oldest personal jewelry ever found in Australia. And revealed compelling evidence of symbolic and artistic behavior from a period when much of the scientific community believed such behavior had not yet existed. Here, this is the story of an ancient Australian site that most people have never heard of, but one that changed our understanding of human history forever. Devil's Lair is a single-chamber limestone cave located approximately 5 kilometers from the modern coastline of Western Australia, about 20 kilometers north of Cape Leeuwin, the southwesternmost point of the Australian mainland. The cave floor covers roughly 200 square meters and lies within the Leeuwin Naturalist Ridge, a formation of quaternary limestone that stretches along this section of the coast. Today, the surrounding landscape is covered by dense, temperate Jarrah forest. Cooler and greener than much of Australia's interior, but 50,000 years ago, the environment looked dramatically different. During the Ice Age, sea levels were significantly lower, placing the ancient coastline much farther west than it is today. The people who first occupied this cave were not coastal inhabitants in the modern sense. They were adapting to a constantly changing landscape as shifting climates caused the sea to retreat and advance over tens of thousands of years. The cave's floor contains nearly 660 centimeters of sandy sediment, deposited over thousands of years in more than 100 distinct layers, separated by flowstone and other hardened mineral deposits. That remarkable depth of layered material preserves an almost uninterrupted record of life in and around the cave across an immense span of time. Archaeological evidence, including hearths, stone tools, animal bones, and human remains, extends down through approximately 350 centimeters of that sequence, reaching as far as layer 30. Above and below these archaeological layers lie geological and biological records of an ecosystem that no longer survives in this form anywhere in Australia. Ironically, Devil's Lair earned its name because of what E. L. Lundelius had originally come to find in 1955. Throughout the cave deposits were the bones of Sarcophilus horizii, the Tasmanian devil. Today, this carnivorous marsupial survives only on the island of Tasmania. But when humans occupied Devil's Lair, Tasmanian devils still roamed the forests of southwestern Australia. The cave preserves a rare snapshot of an ancient ecosystem that has long since disappeared from the mainland. Formal archaeological excavations began at Devil's Lair during the 1970s. The earliest radiocarbon dating initially suggested that humans first occupied the cave around 35,000 years ago. Those results were widely accepted, published in scientific literature, but science continued to advance. As researchers developed improved dating techniques designed to eliminate contamination in ancient charcoal samples, particularly a method known as acid-based wet oxidation pretreatment with stepped combustion, the original timeline began to change. When this new method was applied to charcoal recovered from the deepest archaeological layers of Devil's Lair, the results revealed dates that were dramatically older than the original estimates. The evidence pointed to something extraordinary. Human occupation at Devil's Lair was not 35,000 years old. It reached back nearly 50,000 years. For independent dating methods all reached the same conclusion. Devil's Lair was occupied between 48,000 and 50,000 years ago, proving humans reached southwestern Australia far earlier, and far faster, than scientists once believed. Archaeologists also found red and yellow ochre that had been brought into the cave and carefully ground by hand. Its exact purpose remains one of Devil's Lair's greatest mysteries.